too many of Dublin City's streets honour aristocrats, landlords and slave owners. That is the view of Dublin City councillors.
I think you might be harder pressed to find any that don't have links to wrongdoing in the past based on today's current mores. The names of the city reflect largely the time it was built, and we were a colony, and the people who were lauded at the time were aristocrats, many of whom I'm sure were slave owners and all that. I'm not down with changing every street name. I'm really not.
To be fair, I don't think anyone's suggesting we should change every street name.
There are some things that I think have merit in this. One of the councillors was pointing out that there are hundreds and hundreds of streets, for example, in North inner city Dublin. 3 of them are named after women. Like, that is kind of ridiculous, in terms of reflecting society or what have you. We have to be careful about binning history. I do think that there's a wider issue on that. But it does get us thinking about if you had a blank canvas, what would you name a street? Who would you name it after?
Oh, it's a hard one, isn't it? I'll tell you what I would insist on, that nobody who died within the last 50 years gets a street named after them. I think we have a real...
Why? Tell me why. What's the reason?
Because we have a real tendency towards recency bias, if that's the right term. I don't know how you call it. But, it'll always be... Someone's just like, let's call a street name after them. That's what we do. I think let it settle. If there's still a figure of substance...
Would it not be cool to have, like, Katie Taylor Street?
No.
Or Taylor Street?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Sonia Sullivan?
All brilliant athletes and amazing women, and I suspect in 50 years' time we'll still be talking about Katie Taylor and then name a street after her. But let's give it time, because I just think there's a knee-jerk reaction. To overreact to every success and go, right, let's call, Grand Slam Street if we win the Grand Slam in a few weeks' time. I just think let it settle. What?
Dricko Street. Dricko Street is quite nice now. It's kind of chancy and kind of places you'd have kind of cool clubs and stuff on it.
Yeah, somebody's making the point here that stadiums are named after, or stands after people who are alive. Alex Ferguson stand in Old Trafford. That's grand. If a football stadium wants to do it, I don't care. But
I just worry. I just worry about us changing the names of everything because of us putting the current.
Would you still go for Sackville Street? Do you drive down to Kingstown every day on your way home?
Kingston Town. No, I don't. And I take your point. But I grew up with Dunleary and I grew up with O'Connell Street. So they are my streets. There's a wider point about the renaming. But who would you name them after, I think, is a very interesting
Do you have someone
concept.
who you'd like to name?
I kind of think Katie Taylor. I think Taylor Street would be quite nice. And now that I've said Dricko Street, I kind of do see it as kind of a Carnaby Street kind of a place. I'm kind of into it.